What a comeback. Welcome back to Where Red Dragons Walk with myself, Luke, and alongside me today we've got Ed and Steve. Ed, massive win and coming from behind. What a way to do it.
Absolutely. It was superb performance. We didn't deserve to be losing when we were 1-0 down. I think 3-2 flattered Norwich, but I remember I was quite negative on the podcast last week and saying that, watchers will go and beat Norwich away, and we've gone and do it and thoroughly deserve to. Fantastic comeback, fantastic performance. When are we building the statue for Parky?
He's back in good graces after one win.
For 1 week again.
Yeah, that's life as a football fan, isn't it? It's a roller coaster of emotions. Steve, what a way to get 3 points, especially away from home. What a way to do it.
Yeah, great support from the fans. You could hear them roaring all game long. And, I said early on when Windas hit that first post, I just had that feeling like, oh no, boys, it can't be another game of near misses again. We've got to bury these. But man, did he take over, and Kabore, oh my goodness, I have a man crush on Moore, but after that one, Kabore, dear God, he was just phenomenal. Him and Windass just phenomenal all game long.
Yeah, I think that you can go across the whole pitch. Really, there's some really good performances throughout, wasn't there? Let's talk about the character what is needed to come from behind, because when what it's like, especially when you've had a few tough games, you go 1-0 down, heads can start to go down, whether it's the players, the fans, etc. But to turn it around it shows that there is character in that team building, isn't there, Ed?
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely after we were on a little bit of a slump, it's been a bit of a slow start to the season. We started very well on Saturday. Quite unlucky to go 1 down, I felt. But you're right, that is when really heads could have dropped. I felt first off, we played fairly well. We were pretty good. And what we haven't seen this season is really a 90-minute performance. But I felt that Saturday was as close to a 90-minute performance. We just kept on playing. We kept on pressing. The football was very good. There was some good goals, but we were playing football on the deck. I think there's been a real improvement this season in the quality of the football we're playing. But that character to keep at it and keep going and deservedly get the win, yeah, it shows that the character's there. And it's something that Parky's teams have always shown for the last few years and in the past. So that was really, really nice to see.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about first the goal scored, Windas. Two great finishes, wasn't it, Steve?
Oh, absolutely. The first one was an absolute beauty volley right in, and keeper had no chance on that one. And then the second one, it kind of reminded me of Wrexham backing off in the 18, the previous matches, right, and giving those guys the free shots. But you have to respect Windass with his crosses, right? So I felt bad for the defender guarding him. But then I just loved how he turned in and he picked his shot. That was a goal scorer's goal. That was a beauty right in the corner. Absolutely, again, massive. Can't say enough about the performance of him and Kabore.
Yeah, I think the way the second goal, I loved it from Windass. The way he shaped up, he first of all looked like he was going to put a ball in the box with his left leg, didn't he? And then he settled down. So all it needs is that half a yard. Sometimes players overcomplicate it and they try and beat their man, beat him again. All Windass knew what he needed was half a yard to be able to bend that in. And I think it was, it shows the quality that he's got. We'll touch on him more later on in the show. Now let's go to the goals conceded. Obviously, we want this to be a positive show today, but we will obviously talk about what we saw. The first goal, Ed, we actually had a great conversation last week, didn't we, on the fact that one of the weaknesses in Wrexham's defence is between the centre-back and the left side centre-back, or the right side centre-back, in between them channels. And that was a weakness again, wasn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely was. I mean, it was tight for whether it was onside or offside. It was very close, but they had hit us with a similar ball just before the goal, but they didn't take the chance. But that's definitely, it's there. Again, though, this week, Cody wasn't playing, so different personnel again. But there's definitely a weakness. We still look a little bit slow there at the back, I feel. The only one I really feel that's got a lot of pace at the back is Brunt, who came on in the second half. But yeah, that is something that I think teams are exploiting, and probably will carry on to do so until we rectify it.
Yeah, rectify it, Wrexham, like it.
Rectify it.
Steve, the second goal, was there anything that could have been done differently?
Yeah, that one, I always stick up for keepers, but that one, Arthur's got to control that rebound better. It wasn't such a hard shot that it was so explosive that he couldn't have controlled it. So that one he's got to keep under control and smother, especially in a critical point in a game like that, because that gave them some momentum coming in after we had squashed that momentum for, almost the entire second half. So yeah, that Arthur's got to be better on that. And, we're expecting to see better out of him, in the weeks going forward. He needs to be better.
Yeah, it's important as a goalkeeper. You got to parry that either side, haven't you? You can't play it back into the troublesome area. Luckily, it didn't matter. 3 points to the good, so we're all good there. Let's get into Windass. Ed, what a performance! Coming back from a bit of a time away, and he's built himself back into the team. What a great performance.
He's unbelievable. I can remember in a previous podcast you had the question, was someone like Windas, was he an upgrade on some of our great players like Mullin that we've had before? And I think you can just see with his quality, like you say, first game back following injury, he was absolutely superb. His football brain's so fast. And as you were saying before, Steve, like the second goal was fantastic, but you said about the first goal as well. He had so much time, so much space, but he still absolutely just lashed it home. He made it look so simple when he took the ball first time, but really it isn't that simple. But he's such a quality player. And already I think he's going to be an early favourite for player of the season.
Good shout. That was going to be my question to Steve, actually. How important is Windas for the season? Is he the most important player at the moment?
Well, he is one of the most important players. Absolutely, he just showed his quality so much. But then O'Brien's been turning up every single match too. He's been playing really, really well. For his first match in there, Sheaf looked solid. So this is part of it. Like, we haven't seen a full healthy squad yet. So this is what's going to be interesting over the next couple of weeks. But if that Windass can turn up every single match, we're going to be trouble for a lot of clubs.
Yeah, 100%. I think when you look at a player like Windass, he's not, he's not the tallest, he's not the biggest, he's not got the pace, but what he has, he's got that up there, isn't he? He's got the football intelligence, and he does the basics so well, and that's what important. Like I said earlier, he's got that half a yard, and he knew that's all he needed. And yeah, you're right, Steve. I think you look at the players like O'Brien and Sheaf, two players that at this level, at the Championship level, are very good players. Very. I think Sheaf was, looked at by a few Premier League clubs last season. So I think to get him was a great bit of business. Is there anybody that you think could have maybe put on a bit of a, not a better performance because it was a great win, but was there? I mean, you look at the likes of Kiefer Moore and players like that. I know you're a big fan of him, Steve. Did you think that Kiefer Moore could have done a little bit more in the game on Saturday?
I won't be critical on him because it's hard to show up for every single match of the season and bring your top game. Like it's pretty tough in a challenging league like the Championship, right? So no, I wouldn't be down on really any of the players in the match. Now it's really just, correcting the errors that we've had, our center back and our defenders, right? We've got to shore up that area. That's the biggest point of concern for me. And other than that is now just Arthur working on his ball control on, rebound type of shots, right? So like, I'm not crapping on Arthur. Like, I love his play. He makes some massive saves, but now that's the difference between when you're going from a lower league up, right? The little details matter so much more. So as you were saying, Luke, if he pushes that ball hard off to the side, of course, you'd rather, a corner kick, than a ball right into the box. But that one, even right there, I would have loved to have seen him cushion that a bit more and then explode on top of the ball and cover it up. Yeah. He makes that save, they're done. There's nothing left for them in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it was a hard question to ask because it was a great performance all round. We're really being quite picky, I think, with that question, but I think it was great performance all round. Right, let's move away from the game itself and look at the first sort of block of the season. Obviously, we're a good few games in now. We'll start with you, Ed. Who's impressed you so far? Who's the player? If you go right, he's my favourite player so far this season. He's first name on the team sheet.
I don't want to sound like saying the same thing. But I get Windas has really impressed me. We get him on a free transfer. He's been so good. A lot of the names that Steve has said there, O'Brien just never, ever stops running. He's incredible. He really, really is. But I've got to say, so far, Windass just looks such quality. He just looks like the link-up player. And he looks... just that you can tell he's played at that level, and you can just see that he's the guy that's going to link the team up. So for me, it is Windass.
It's Windass. Steve, I'm going to think you're going to say Kiefer Moore, but we'll see. We'll see. Steve.
Well, again, I got to go back to my previous statement. We haven't seen the full healthy squad. We need to see that for a few weeks, right? It's nice to take the pressure off Kiefer Moore so it's not all on his shoulders, right? But Moore is massive. Windass, you can sing his praises. And now Kabore, if he can keep doing what he did last week, which, by the way, how is that not a yellow card on that first foul on him? There was no play in the ball. Again, me being a hockey player, I'm like, hey, great check. But in hockey, that was 2 minutes for interference. Bloody hell.
Yeah, not quite allowed either. Is that the spine then? Do you think, Steve? Is that the important spine? Kabore, Windass, Moore. Is that the sort of spine that you need to look after?
Yeah, and the energy of O'Brien, and again, we're waiting on still a few more players to come back, and get healthy again for the squad, right? Because I can't wait to see that energy of Rathbone in there. He's going to be between him and O'Brien. They're going to run teams ragged. So I'm saying for me, these guys are absolutely important. I just want to see a few more pieces in, and then let's give a shout out to Cleworth too. He's come all the way from National League all the way up, and he's still doing well. And he's such a young guy. So total credit to him.
Yeah. Especially when you're spending all the amount of money you spent and bringing different players in, it's important as well to make sure you can harness the players that have got the the quality to keep stepping up. It gets harder the higher you got up the divisions to try and keep these players together, but it is important, I think, especially for squad. I never can pronounce this word. Togetherness. We'll go with that one instead. Squad togetherness is important to keep these the same players there. Right, let's look at tweet of the week. So today's tweet of the week actually comes from Parky, the man himself. So it was it wasn't really a tweet. I saw it on Twitter, not really a tweet, but anyway. So the statement was, my message to everybody in football is that 4 years ago we came to East Anglia. It was Kings Lynn away in front of 800 people. That just shows you the rise of Wrexham. How to go from playing Kings Lynn, no disrespect to Kings Lynn, 800 people, that sort of level of football to beating Norwich away. What a rise, Ed. What a great journey.
Yeah, that really does put it into perspective. And you think there was more than 800 Wrexham fans just at the game, let alone the total attendance. So yeah, it still can be pinch yourself moment for the incredible rise. But that doesn't mean we need to stop, does it? There's still ambition there. And with the money we've spent, the squad we've got, I'm looking forward to many, many good victories this season when we can point to playing, I don't know, teams like Maidenhead or Altrincham from years ago and comparing them to teams like West Brom and Middlesbrough or whoever. So yeah, but absolutely spot on. It's not long ago since we've been playing those kind of teams.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant, and I think that's actually a very good point to make. It's appreciating the journey, but also having the ambition to keep going and keep pushing and keep pushing. Steve, what I'd like to ask you, mate, is for the people that obviously don't know, you're not from Wrexham yourself. When did you first sort of come about Wrexham? What part of the journey have you seen?
Well, I've seen the failed first National League bid. So, just like like most of the fans that are over here, I was trying to explain this to people, there's a lot more television coverage now, right? And there's a lot more accessibility to it. So you can you can follow any team over an app. But now the game's really growing over here. So I didn't want to be a bandwagon jumper and jump on a Liverpool or a Man City, right? So my daughters were getting into the game. I played it as my summer sport in Canada. My wife played it as well. We both enjoyed the sport. So in our absolute boredom during the pandemic, the documentary brought us in. And I just thought, well, what a great team to follow, right? Because if anybody calls me a bandwagoner, oh, stuff it. I was following a National League team that failed its first bid, and it stayed with them, right?
Yeah.
So it's been that journey. And to be honest with you, the biggest connection now has been with the fans in Wrexham. A lot of them are good mates of mine now. Talk to them, some of them daily. So it's bringing in that community feel. Like even though we're thousands of miles in a huge pond in between us, we've got that bond during games and after games, right? So it's always fun for me. I'll talk sports all day long. So to have those conversations with people. But now as the team's success, that's why I'm patient with it right now, because back to back to back, that doesn't happen. Even back to back is difficult, right? So that's why when everybody's fire parky, simmer down, just chill. We've got 90% new faces on the squad. They're not going to click right away. And this is part of my argument too. Because people will say, well, they're professionals. They should be able to come in and perform. Like, well, if it's one or two guys coming into an already well-developed squad that's been together years. But this is almost a completely new squad. So they're figuring it out because, I think it was a few games ago, again, where, Kiefer Moore, all he has to do is just heel a pass over to O'Brien and he's wide open and he's not going to miss. It's those little tendencies, right, of knowing where that player is, right? And just knowing that they're going to be there. We don't quite have that yet, but it'll come. Yeah. I think by mid-November, we're going to be in really good form. This is a team that we're going to see throughout the rest of the year up until, I believe, we're going to have an aggressive January transfer window. Just my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think it's like I said, a lot to look forward to, and it's nice to know. I love hearing people's fan journeys. It doesn't matter when it starts, and like you said, it's the whole bandwagon thing. I mean, you could have easily gone and jumped on Liverpool, City, etc., and you chose a team that's got struggling in the National League and has built its way up. So no, definitely, I love hearing it all. Appreciate it all. Well done, guys. Thank you very much. Another 3 points. Get in. Thank you everybody for watching and listening at home. Please like and subscribe, and please comment below on your favourite player so far this